had women who were in their late 40s come to me and say, yeah, my doctor told me I'm too young for perimenopause. Are you serious? Coming to you live from inside the hot box. And yes, we're talking about hot flashes today, so isn't that ironic? I'm purposefully cooking myself in here as a woman in her 40s. But new studies just came out, one in particular that was quite large, talking about what us menopause doctors have already seen in practice, and that is the fact that hot flashes are not the first nor the only sign of perimenopause. And in fact, they tend to be more of a late sign, and only maybe half of women experience this. So it's not the only symptom of menopause. So just because you're not having hot flashes doesn't mean that you're not in perimenopause or soon to be in menopause. So what are the signs that you are in perimenopause? Well, we look at age. So if you're over the age of 35, you could be coming up close to perimenopause. So I wrote it down. We have fatigue, brain fog, poor sleep, mood changes, weight changes, irritability, hair and skin changes. 95% of women reported exhaustion as their number one symptom coming into perimenopause, way before anyone had hot flashes. This is really important because all of these women who are coming in with these kind of random symptoms, it seems random, and are getting dismissed because their labs look normal, they need a deeper dive. We need to look at how old are they? What are all their symptoms? How are they clustered? When did this start? What are their sex hormones doing? This is a great time, and this is before their cycles even start changing. So their cycles are regular, and just because your cycles are regular doesn't mean you're not in perimenopause. There is phase 1, stage 1, early perimenopause, where cycles really haven't changed yet, but will still be symptomatic and still needs to be addressed. Even if it's just validation, yes, this could be perimenopause. Let's see what else could be underlying it. There could be thyroid issues. There could be gut issues. There could be inflammation, chronic inflammation or acute inflammation. There could also be, cognitive changes, as I'm trying to find my words. So all of these things can come together, and we need to take that deeper look and see what's happening to her hormones, to her thyroid, to her inflammation, to her glucose metabolism, to her lipid panel. All of a sudden you were cooking along doing just fine, and now your cholesterol's high. What the heck? Nothing has changed. That is an early sign of perimenopause. And if your provider is unsure about this, or they have no idea, or they tell you you're too young, and I've had women who were in their late 40s come to me and say, yeah, my doctor told me I'm too young for perimenopause. Are you serious? The average age of menopause is 51 to 52 years old. Perimenopause can last anywhere from a year to 10 years. So yeah, if she's in her late 40s, very likely she is in perimenopause. We can pretty much say that with a lot of confidence, just based on age. And then there are the poor girls who had their ovaries removed, or they had radiation or chemo or something that shut down their ovaries and got thrown into menopause overnight. Don't even get me started there. That's a whole other thing. And I've heard good and bad. I've heard some women say that their provider, their surgeon was really great, got them on hormone replacement, which is what is necessary. For taking out an organ that provides hormones, we should probably look at replacing those back to a physiologic level through the physiologic time frame, at least through menopause, right? Like the risk that they have, because think about after menopause, what happens? Our risk for heart disease goes up. Our risk for breast cancer goes up post-menopause without any hormone treatment, guys. Hormone therapy does not increase your breast cancer risk. That was a mistake that they made when they extrapolated data poorly from a poorly done study in the WHI. It's not a thing. Your breast cancer risk goes up. Your colon cancer risk goes up. Your osteoporosis risk goes up. Your cognitive decline, Alzheimer's risk, dementia goes up after menopause. So what do you think is going to happen if we start menopause way earlier, like decades earlier for some of these women than it should have been for some reason? Maybe, and I'm not saying you shouldn't have taken out the ovaries. Okay. Not saying don't have your cancer treatment at all. Absolutely. We have to do what's best for the patient right now, but we also need to think about the long-term implications of that and be their advocate and make sure that we're educating ourselves about this. And then talking to our patients and getting online and talking to you guys like this too. That is why I do what I do, because I want to make sure that you are aware that this is an option, that you do not have to suffer, and that your risk for these chronic diseases is manageable. There's not like, oh, there's nothing we can do. It's in God's hands. Okay, it is, but there's still lots that we can do, okay? So I really like this study. I think it's great because it is illuminating the fact that we're not looking at just one thing. Yes, when I code it for ICD-10 code, when I'm prescribing estrogen and progesterone for a woman, I have to put in, climacteric menopause, because that is what insurance recognizes and will reimburse. So that's what we put in. She's in menopause. There's so many more symptoms that are part of that. And unfortunately, the delay between research and practice and insurance coverage is vast. It can be 10 to 15 years. And that's something that they teach us in school. Like, you can learn evidence-based medicine, but the translation into actual practice takes half to a decade or more sometimes. It's crazy, but this is true. So let's be part of the solution and education for everybody. All right. I am going to get out of the hot box and move about my day. I did my workout this morning, lifted my weights. I did upper body, did shoulders. Really, really important to build muscle as we age. It is the most important thing you do. If you only do 3 things over 40, girls in your 40s, if you only do 3 things in your life, lift weights, eat protein, and eat way more than you think you should, because you're not eating enough, I can promise you, and get more fiber in your diet. And like fiber from food, not just some supplements. If you need some supplements to help you in the beginning to get used to it, that's fine. But you need to be eating real food, whole foods. That is the most ideal source. Same thing with protein. If you need a protein shake to get, to get to your goal there, that's really fine. I absolutely am an advocate for that, but we don't want to rely on just processed foods, protein bars and shakes and all that kind of stuff. We want to rely on real food. So work your way up to it. But those are the 3 most important things. Same thing with strength training. Start where you are. If all you can do is body weight and that's your max, like 1 body weight squat is your max, then do that and that's fine. And then you'll slowly work your way up to the point where you can start adding more weight. It's safe. It reduces pain when done properly, and it will improve your longevity. It makes you look younger. Okay. I need to do my Botox. So I'm going to do a different video on that, guys. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to do my Botox for you guys. So you can see what it looks like before treatment and then right after treatment and then a day and 2 days and all that. So I'm going to show you guys all that. But otherwise, like, my skin still looks pretty good, like chiseled jaw, praise Jesus. But part of that, this is my physique and everything in my face. I'm athletic looking because I lift weights. If you go back and look at my before and after pictures, I had a lot of extra body fat. Okay. At one point in time, and I was actually in my 20s, and I'm not at my ideal weight right now either, but I feel really good in my body because I can see, even through the little bit of, fluff that I have muscle, and I feel good in my body and I can move well and I have good endurance despite the fact that I am a perimenopausal woman. And I do have some of those symptoms, and I do have a thyroid that doesn't like to convert. So that causes a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of brain fog. But because I'm doing the things that I preach, I practice what I preach, I am a living example of how much better it can be when you do take care of yourself. And then I also acknowledge the fact that this is a time, exhaustion, the number 1 complaint. I am no stranger to that at all. Part of that is overloading my plate. Part of that is like doing all the things. And I do have to be more aware of that and more conscious and just pull it back and go, you know what? I'm doing enough. It's the 80-20, guys. You think you're running around doing all of these things, and you have to keep moving, you have to keep going, but you don't. You really get 80% of your results are coming from 20% of your effort. Find out what that 20% of your effort is and only do that. The rest of it can just piss off, okay? Because it doesn't matter. And you're burning yourself into the ground for no freaking reason. And life is too short. Ladies, we are technically in midlife. I hate that word, but average lifespan, okay? This is not the time to burn ourselves into the ground. This is the time to find ourselves, to redefine ourselves, and to decide what the next chapter of our life is going to be. It's going to be different. You're in a different chapter, and that's okay. That's great. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. You get to care a little bit less and do what you want to do. And hopefully what you want to do is feel your best. Look your best at this age. You're not going to look 20 again. Who wants to be that age again, though? I was a moron back then, okay? I'm so happy to be where I am now. And I hope you are too. And if you don't feel your best, I created a quiz. I created an energy drain quiz for exactly this, because this is exactly what I see in my practice all the time. The number one complaint, they might put down on their intake form, oh, belly fat. But then when I talk to them, they are like, well, I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. I can't even go to the gym. I can't make the food. Like I just, I have no libido or anything, and I can't sleep well. And I'm like, yeah. So the belly fat is actually a symptom of something else going on. It's not the problem itself. It's a symptom. So when we take care of those underlying things, the belly fat is a lot easier to get rid of. Trust me. Without having to resort to extreme measures, whatever those might be. So if you take I think I actually have the comment, or I have the link posted, and you can go to my bio and you can get the link there. You can go to antigravitywellness.com. It's a little ticker slider on the top there. You can take the energy drain quiz. It's free. And it helps to kind of narrow down which of the 5 most common energy drains could you be suffering from. And it's not a diagnostic test or anything. It's not going to diagnose you. It's just going to kind of give you a good idea of like, these symptoms tend to correlate with this issue. It could be your thyroid. It could be your gut. It could be your inflammation. It could be your cortisol levels. It could be your glucose and your insulin sensitivity or lack thereof. And of course your hormones are in there as well, your sex hormones. So go take that energy drain quiz, and then we have an energy reset. If you are interested in doing a little reset, it's a self-guided thing, super easy to do. Again, not medical treatment or anything like that, but it's a good starting place. If you're like, okay, I know there's something wrong. I'm going to get into a provider to get my labs done and see what else is going on. But what do I do right now? Like today, because I am dying and I've been dying for so long. I'm just over this. I'm tired of being tired. Okay. So that's what I created this for. So I hope it helps. Go check it out if you feel called to do so. And I will see you guys later. Bye.